Hello and welcome, and let's talk about this very interesting trading strategy, which most certainly needs a lot of fixing around as well. I've done two sample sizes. Both cases had phenomenal results. Both cases have heartache. Oh my goodness, this doesn't look good. And oh my goodness, this is amazing. Type situations. The strategy sell 100% of holdings when target hits, and the targets is waiting for a 50% up or 33% down move from last key high low. And when ordered, you make the trade. Volatility per case should be adjusted, but for this case, we'll be doing 50 and 33%. Meaning, say for example, you got 100 of coin A and you sell it off for coin B. Now you don't have any. Now the next play is selling coin B. That has to be it, and you wait until it happens, no matter what the price is. And oh my goodness, that can be very insane. I'm going to show you one really sick example. But the net results were spectacular, which is phenomenal. All right, so the gains are huge. Again, so there's risks and big losses in two reasons. One, the traditional reason, your coins go down, you lose. And technically, these coins go down, and you can win so much you could technically gain. But then the two reasons. The second one is what I'm going to show you. What I did was I started with the GRS and the DGB, the code that I've had for a while, and if I can end the game with a few million DGB value, that is spectacular. If you can get like 3-4 million worth at the end of the game, you're doing good. The normal trading that I do, that's combined value of the two. But I'm going to show you a situation. Well, before I do that, let's just assume that you say the market you sell at 20. Okay, now I'm waiting for it to go down 33%. So that would be a move of like say, well, 33% on 20 is 14. But what happens is the market goes up to 30, 40, 50. Well, it's not on your last sale in the 33% down. This thing go all the way up to 100, lose a third down to 66, and you're buying. And I'm going to show you an example right now. As I'm playing this game, we had a buy at 17.39, and it kept going down below 1. And then I end up selling it at 119. And then I bought it back at 13.91. Now that is extreme. I mean, the losses I had were extreme. Extremely bad. Like you could just imagine what the case is. You buy whatever at 17.35, and then you sell it all off at 119. Then you buy it back at 14. Now how can you win? I did, but it's crazy this game. It really is crazy. At the time, after the damage, I was already at 8 figures DGB before all this happened. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking we're not even near day 1,000. That's when things get wild. I mean, the opportunity for these sick gains, and they weren't as sick because of this, but they were still sick enough. At the time, I had 136,000. I started off with 1,000 of these coins, and really 2,000 in value because I also had 1,000 worth of GRS and DGB. So the start was 2,000. So at this point, after all of the damage was done, I was up about 60 times. After I was probably up like over 1,000 times at one point. And that was on day 902. When the game was over, well, this ended at this point was 136,000. And then got it close to a million at the end. So I got about a 7-8x gain over the last like 600 days on the GRS. And these trades were where you would be expecting it. Buy at 21.61, then you sell it at 42, buy it back at 28, now it's at 36. So I would be waiting for like, and it's almost time to trade because 50% is like 37 point low change and it's at 36. Okay, well, anyway, it would be close to trading and not quite, as that would have. But anyway, let's show you an example. And no, before I do that, the total number was 957,000, and if I multiply that by 36, that's 35 million. Like I said, if you can get to the value of 5 or so DGB million, that is, that's good. That's 7 times higher than that number. So I'm really, really more curious. Now, I've already done this code already, but not in this example. And I'm going to start this off because it looks like the way it starts off, you're going to be losing right off the bat, and that's how I like it. Well, at least for the example. And in real life, if that happens and it wins, okay, sweet. So let's start off with GRS Ethereum. And I did this before, but with different data, though. And I did it on a spreadsheet. This one I'm going to do on this one here. So assume you buy in on this. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to buy the grossed now. And then I'm going to trade this whenever it has a 50% move, which would be a move to the 36 number. But as I stated, we would be seeing the price go down. So now at this point, what's happening is the price has now got a low of 18. So now I'm going to sell at 27-ish handle. Of course, if it goes there, and 27's way up here, so I can just go down fast and see that the lowest point that this gets to is, well, 1302 there. Well, 1302. So we'll get the trusty old calculator in place. I'm going to be having a sell order here at 1953 handle, which we can see would hit on that day. So what I've done is I've made a spreadsheet. Oh, not a spreadsheet. This will turn into be a spreadsheet. One will turn into be a buy. And of course, every single one after that is just going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, back and forth. But the order price would have been 1953. Now the high is 2150 because that's the important number for the buyback, not where we bought it. So if you multiply that by 2/3, we're going to be looking to put a buy order at 1433, which should happen here, and obviously does, I think. Because what's the low here? Not quite. 1438 is the low. There we go. That's enough right there. So 1433 would be the buyback. So what would happen is you would sell all your GRS, so all your Ethereum, and well, yeah. So buy all GRS here rather. Sell all of them. Then you sell all your Ethereum for GRS here. So now whatever the low in here is, we're looking at already going over the 21 handle, and it would hit right here. It would hit in this one. We can see that it goes way up. So if you were waiting, I mean, what do you do here? Do you take this high price? I mean, if you get it, you get it. But bottom line is we're going to have to do, what was the lowest price in here? Well, we bought down here. It would have been 1428. So 2142, that's where your order would be. And if it goes higher than that, that's where it would be. And it looks like it's an automatic instant buyback. Now, this is where you have to cheat the computer system, because the computer would automatically buy it back as soon as it sees it, because, I mean, 2/3 off of the 8 handle. So in reality, what I would do is play around with this just a little bit. And I'm going to stick a line like here. What was my buy? What was my sell? 2142. Let's even go deeper than that because of where we are. Safe one like here. And There we have it. So 157. So yeah, just playing a little bit differently, but the whole point is trying to get as many flips as you can and trying to do so at the best rate of a set. We don't need this line anymore. So let's remove it. And I wouldn't mind seeing more candles. Maybe not. Okay, so let's just go down. Okay, so the low here, we're going to be buying 1.5 times 123.06. So we'll go 1846, which obviously hits well more than. So there's a sale. Not the greatest of numbers, but still for a profit. And now we're looking at a high of, and it's definitely going to be a buyback. So the high in here works out to 2387. And we'll round it down. 1591 will be the buy. Because does it hit it? 1595, not yet. Does it hit it here? 1555, so it does hit it. Okay, so 1591 buyback, which pretty much is the low right now. Well, it's not anymore. Let's just see where this low goes to. We got 13, so we'd have to get up to the 19 handle, which it doesn't. And then here it gets to 12, so it has to get to the 18 handle. It doesn't there. It doesn't there. This is where it does. So we'll just do like a simple like 1795 or something. And then at the 18 handle, giving back 2/3 is going back to 12. A little over it. And this, it looks like it hits it perfectly. 12103. This is where a matter of luck would play, I think, for sure. I mean, did you get the number? Let's just see what the exact number was to see what we get here. Because it was this last high in here that we are looking at, I believe. Is it? Okay, let me just clear it thick back again. Okay, so I saw that the 18 handle up here, this is the one, yeah. So 1825.8. That's the number I'm going to use. And we get to, oh, I think that should easily work out, 1217. So let's just verify that it's above that number. And of course I did too many of those, but 1217, there's 1210, so yeah, that's a hit. That's a good luck. That's luck again. To get that number just like you did. And I'll do 1795 again, only because of the fact that barely over 12. Actually, no, like 1805. 1805. Which is obviously going to be a hit. And here. So now we got a high of 28.4. 1893. Which, does it hit here? 18. Technically it does. Right here it hits. Low is 1887. So 1893 we're going to put in. Wait, no. Do we go back? Now we have to go back to that same situation again we did before. The computer says to buy back what you did before. I mean, it's a gamble here. I mean, you either make the play, it either breaks out, you buy, it works. It goes down, then you're just going to get whatever cheap sale you're going to get. And because of the length of the moves, I think you'd probably want to do somewhere near like a 61.8% down move. Maybe a little safe one. I mean, safer meaning a little bit higher just in case. You think it's going to go down towards here, but just in case it pierces above. And I'm happy with the level right here. The 161 is even, that's not even the greatest of buybacks as it is. So you just got to take it and hope. And you can see if it goes up, you're going to miss out on all of these good gains. No, you don't. Wait a second. Let's replay this out. Okay, so in here, you're going to have to buy back 50% down at some point. So none of these, or 33% down. This is your first qualification. So in a spot like this, what you could be doing is just again, okay, I'm just going to buy it back to where it came from here and just settle for that. And then it goes up like this. Now you can just use the math. Okay, 295. Let's just do 2953. Multiply that, because this is where it gets bad. I mean, this is part of that game, 1968. Really? No. High of 2950. Yeah? Okay, let's do 1968. Well, let's hit the 30 number, so let's just do a hair above 20, like 20, um, 10, we'll say. Still doesn't get above 30. So just 2010. Yeah, now 2010 hits. So we sold at 18 and we're buying back at 20. There's a losing trade right there, but only a 10% loss on that deal. So it's not too bad. So now we're looking to sell. And within this, we're just at that 20 number. So 30, I'm just going to remove this line as it's not needed. November 2018 is where we stand in time. So let's wait for 30. Well, here's the low will get readjusted here. So 1906.4. That's 2860, which is an obvious hit. So let's just do that, 2860. And we're buying back from 3044. So it's barely above it. That just makes it easy just to play the math like this. 2029 is where the buyback would be, which is down towards this lower end here. No new high, which would, and there's where the buyback would come in, so 2029. And now we're going to determine where we sell based on where this low is. So right now, this low has went down to, you can see it's at 18. Now it just keeps going lower, so we've already hit a low in at 1511 and a half. So we'll multiply that by 1.5. So we're selling 2268 right now. And if we sell at this, we're selling for a small profit. And there's a 2268 sale. And we'll do 1/3 off of that number up top. It's going to be, again, you can use your own discretion at any time. That's usually the better thing if you know how the markets work well. But the mathematics do pretty fun stuff, as I showed in the DGB to start. 2853. So that's 19. We'll go 1901. And obviously 1901 hits. Not the greatest of buybacks, but still a buyback. When you're selling everything, that means you're still getting like a. That still works out to like a 15% move when that looks like anyway. Okay, so we got 18, which is the low, and 18 would turn into 27, so that's not going to hit that. Okay, this hits. This is going to hit, but what's the buy going to be? It's going to be this lowest level here. That's 1754, 1750. So that's going to be redone, and that's 26 and a quarter. So not a bad sell there. That's 725 basis points. That's pretty decent. And after a top of around 32, exactly 32. Well, that's 2/3 of that. Well, 1/3 is like 11, so we're talking about like 21 something, I think. Yeah, 21 and a third. So 21.33 is a buyback, which we can see easily hits. And right now the sell order is based on this low again. Right now, 17. That looks like it might hit. That's 1697.3, 16.9. Let's do that. It looks like it's close because it's going to be around 24. Nope, 25. It's going to miss. So we're going to have a new order, and it's going to be now from this low here, which is in at 1490.2. So that's 2235, 2236 even, which should hit on this one here at 22. Oh, that's lucky. That's 2260 high. That is luck. Nothing more than just good luck. I can't say anything else. I'm not going to say you do or don't deserve it, but that would be just, I just call that luck. But you know what? There's going to be good luck. There's going to be bad luck. Good luck. Wow. And that's going to be good for your buyback now, too, especially because 2260 multiply 2/3. We're only looking at 1506. You're not too far off from it. Ha ha ha. And sometimes you get unlucky. And that's one of those times because you didn't get your buyback and you got this sale and it goes way up there. Yeah, yeah, yada, yada, yada. It's fun. What's your buyback mathematically now? It's going to be a lot higher. 594 is the number. Okay, 2/3 that baby. It's either 4,000 or discretion, and I would probably go 30 discretion, if not even like 26, 2610. And again, my discretion would have paled out here. I have to say if it's a lower low here, I'd almost go 2411. And that is a lower, that looks like 2411 would hit here. Yep. Not a bad buyback on 2236. I think that's a good reason why this strategy would work so well too. So now we're looking at selling at like a little under 24, so 36 if something happens. Okay, we got new lows, new lows, new lows. Wow, big time new lows. See, this is where you're going to lose on a trade. What do we got here down to? 15.4 or so. So we're looking at like way better than 22, which doesn't hit there. And you'd still be in the game waiting for 22 as we stand right now. Let's just see how these profit. Let's just see what your profit is on this. Okay, this is just a spreadsheet that I made earlier for this exact thing here too. Let me just size this up and see if we can get the result here. Shouldn't be too hard or too long. Okay, so let's just say this is what you're buying. So let's just assume you have 1,000. You have 10,000 of a unit. So equals. Okay, so you have 10,000 of this going into here. So if you buy, you're gonna buy, say, no, you have $10,000. So that's equals this divided by this. Then I got to put the rake. Let's make sure you can see it, because I don't think you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is where my buys are, how many I'm buying. This is this price divided by this, but I'm also going to have to pay rake. And if this is what it's costing me, I'm going to spend a little bit more. Rake is cheap. You know what? Let's just make it so low. I don't even need to put it in. It's really just meaningless at this stage when it's like under 0.1% and you're dealing with these percentile moves. Okay, so I'd have 4.15. Okay, so that's equal to that. And here is where I would do the sell. So I would sell at 1953. So I'm going to obviously sell. I'll use this row. I'm going to put this column in. And I'm going to get equals that multiply that, which would be 8100. We'll say of whatever else that is. And then it's going to be the buy. So now what I'm going to have here is equals this, and this will always be 0. So this will always be a sale. So what we'll have is equals this equals this divided by price. Okay, so and this will always be 0 as well. And this will always equal this, and this will always be 0. And then we'll just copy and paste this here. And copy and paste all of this down, and we're going to be done. We have to end in a 2. And we technically ended the game, I guess you could say, with either number here, 54,000 or 22. So 5.4x return is what this ended up with. A little lower than that with the microscopic rate, but still greater than a 5x probably with that. So it still worked out profitable. I mean, 5x, this is over a span of, let's see where we're going back to April 2018. This is a span of 14 months on a 5x return. This just goes choppy. You see, I had a couple of those moments that sucked there. But you just live through it. You just wait for the pullback. And interestingly, if you want to get advanced with it, if you're just holding a coin and it goes up, you can just decide, okay, what do I want to sell it to? And then you just pick whatever coin, and then technically, I mean, you could flip it with any ratio. You could probably get wild and funky and just play wild card, wild card, wild card, just flip for one, and really just wait for, yeah, you wait for the coin to have that big move, and then I guess you just look at different ratios, I suppose, and that's where can make some huge gains maybe. But yeah, this is just an idea. I thought I'd share a little bit more. I got to do a little bit more fine tuning with it. Of course, I'm doing so in a day where Bitcoin's getting its ass kicked, as we can see here. That just a quick little update. Weekly chart, it's got a long ways to go to correct. Daily chart, it is showing that it's not holding and staying above, and that we are looking for stage number 2, and that of established support. Is that close enough? It's getting within it, but again, down big. 4 hour, well below. 1 hour, this correctionary phase failed. We're still looking to correct again. And in the 15, it had an extended correctionary period before, and then fall before. Now it's just starting a new one. So that's a quick update. I'll do another one later on. And thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.